Hi, everybody. I was just coming back to introduce myself. I know I did about me, myself, but I didn't tell you enough about my family. I come from a family with two parents. I have one brother, two nieces, one nephew, one grandbaby, and of course, I have two boys, men of my own. My dad just passed away in June from an aneurysm to the head, which was a very big shock to us, and it was very hard for us. The hardest part was I had just found out I had cancer, and I could not attend the funeral, the rosary, and it killed me inside. The doctor said I could go, but it would be against medical advice. And because of the type of cancer that I have, lymphoma, my white blood cells are wiped out. So I have nothing to fight infection. And if you cough on me or if you sneeze and you have the flu, a cold, it does not matter. I will pick it up in seconds because that is my immune system that I have with the lymphoma. Another thing is we're very close sometimes. There's times sometimes we don't talk. Sometimes we don't know anything about it, what's going on in anybody's lives if they're struggling or anything. I'm very close to my mom. We have our ups and downs, of course, like every mother and daughter. There's times I feel she doesn't love me, but I guess that's hard love. And I was very close to my dad, which it bothered me so much because I never expected him to be gone. And that's why I tell people life is too short for us to be fighting, for us to be arguing about the smallest things because you never know. One day you can be here and one day you may not. But that's a little bit about my family. Now, let me tell you how I came to know that I had cancer. I had been very sick. This is initially, it started from the year 2013. I had the flesh-eating bacteria in my stomach, and I was in the hospital for 4 months. I had to learn how to walk again, and I was just very ill. It was killing me through the inside. I was lucky that doctors were able to cure that, and I have to be very careful what fish I eat, what no raw oysters, warm oysters, nothing. So I do not eat oysters. And then I had an accident. I fell and I broke my leg. And at that time, I think I had a urinary tract infection and my urine backed up into my kidneys. So I damaged my kidneys. Then I started getting infections and didn't know why. I had fevers at night and I started losing weight from one day to another. I did have no appetite. I could go without 2 weeks without eating, without feeling bad. And my mom kept saying, you got to go to the hospital, you got to go to the hospital. And I was like, no, no, no. One day I was twitching and the ambulance took me to the hospital and I had become septic. And I was on all these antibiotics. And I was getting better. The urinary tract infection cleared. Everything cleared. But I still kept getting fever at night and fever at night. They did a CT scan and they found out that I had a lymph node in my chest, which was very enlarged, and that's very unusual. From there, they asked me, can we do a CAT scan of your pelvis, your abdomen and pelvis? And I said, yes. They did the CAT scan of the abdomen and pelvis, and then the doctor comes and says, can we do a biopsy of a lymph node that's in your groin? And I said, okay. I kind of knew at that time something was wrong. They did the biopsy, and the doctors come back and tell me that I was positive for non-Hodgkin's lymphoma cancer. And I was very ill, very, very ill. I think I lost like a good 50 pounds, like in weeks. Wasn't even a month. It was like in weeks. And when my dad passed away in June, I found out in May, and then my dad passed away in June. And that was the hardest thing for me, was not to be there, not to be able to hold my mom's hand, not be there to comfort her. But I am glad my my sons were there. And I was all right about that. Well, then I started the journey of chemo. It just made me feel horrible, horrible, sick, horrible. Well, I continued, and then I ended up getting an infection. Out of a small surgery that I had, it opened, and I started leaking pus. And I had 0 count of white blood cells. They stopped the chemo, they stopped everything, and I have been off of chemo for 8 months. Well, now I will be starting chemo back up on the 22nd of February, and I'm hoping everything goes okay. And as long as I have you all by me, to support me, to subscribe for me, everything will be fine. Doing YouTube takes my mind off of a lot of things. Usually I'm laying in bed because, of course, these are the lymph nodes that got hit with my cancer. My chest, my groin, my liver, my bone marrow, my underarm, and my neck. Those are the places that I have cancer in because of my lymph nodes. So hopefully with this chemo, we will do good. My doctor has actually started me on antibiotics. So I'm on antibiotics currently right now. So that way, I hope I don't get any cancer side effects, which is infections. So hopefully that'll work. And I don't know. I just think doing this video and taking y'all along with me will help me, but not only me, will help others understand the life of having cancer. That when you see a patient and you think that because they don't walk, oh, they don't want to walk, it's not that they don't. Believe me, I wish I could walk. I'm getting there, little by little. It's like I'm having to learn how to walk again, but I'm gonna walk no matter what. If that's the last thing I do, I will walk. So it'll get better day by day in my book. Maybe not in everybody else's book, but in my book, I'm going to get better. And that's going to be an everyday struggle. But I'm willing to fight it and to keep on fighting it. Well, I think I have talked enough, and I hope I kind of explained a little bit more about myself. And I know that it may not make a lot of sense, but just remember, I'm barely starting. This is so new to me, and this is just me. I talk and talk and talk, and sometimes maybe I don't make sense. Please excuse that. But I just hope I can catch y'all's attention, and that way you all can continue to come into my life and see what I go through. Well, y'all have a good day and enjoy y'all's weekend. Bye.